Welcome to Bollywood Deep Dive from IndiaReview.com, your daily Bollywood news. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it, because the biggest release of the week, Alpha, has landed, and oh boy, have the reviews landed with it. They've landed with a thud, haven't they? The consensus seems to be dull, formulaic, stale. One review said Alia Bhatt and Sharvari can't rescue a spy film this dull, even with a John Wick-inspired cameo from Hrithik Roshan.
Ouch. John Wick-inspired is code for lots of slick action that we've seen before. You know, it's a tough spot. The YRF spy universe has had these massive hits, but when you rely on a formula, the audience eventually gets ahead of you. They know the recipe by heart.
Exactly. And you can't just plug in incredible actors like Alia Bhatt and hope their talent papers over the cracks in the script. It feels like a disservice to her, to Sharvari, to everyone involved. They're giving it their all, but if the foundation is shaky, the whole thing crumbles. And the pressure on these films is immense. It's not just about telling a story. It's about sustaining a whole cinematic universe, which is a massive commercial undertaking. But creativity can sometimes get lost in the machinery of it all. Speaking of pressure, this brings us to a quote from Mahesh Bhatt. He was talking about how fame has a price and how he doesn't shield Alia from online trolling. His philosophy is, if you stand in the sun, you will get sunburned.
That is one way to put it. It's a very philosophical, almost detached perspective. I get the point he's making that it's an occupational hazard, but I also feel for the people who are actually getting sunburnt. You know, it's easy to be philosophical when you're not the one reading 1,000 hateful comments. True, but he also said that every generation faces a different world, and that life is the best teacher, so he doesn't give advice. It's a very hands-off approach, and in a way, you can see how that might build resilience. Alia has navigated her career with incredible grace despite being under a microscope from day one. She absolutely has. And speaking of navigating fame, let's talk about the man with the John Wick-inspired cameo, Hrithik Roshan. An old, frankly ridiculous rumor about his divorce from Suzanne Khan resurfaced this week.
Oh, the 400 crore alimony claim. I saw that. It's been floating around for years.
For years. And Suzanne's sister, Farah Khan Ali, had to come out and shut it down again. She was very clear, saying Suzanne took nothing and that their family values prioritize relationships over money. It's just wild to me that these baseless stories can have such a long shelf life.
It speaks to a certain kind of public fascination with the private lives of stars, especially when it comes to money. But it's gotta be exhausting for the family to have to debunk the same falsehood over and over. Absolutely. And it overshadows the reality, which is two people who have managed to co-parent and maintain a respectful friendship, which is the actual story worth talking about. A much more positive and frankly more interesting story. Now, while Alpha might be struggling to find its footing, some other films are having a great run at the box office.
Yes, let's talk about the numbers. Welcome to the Jungle, the third installment in the Welcome franchise, has had a solid first week. It entered its second week just as Alpha was releasing, and it's holding steady.
It's fascinating, isn't it? A multi-star action comedy with Akshay Kumar, Sunil Shetty, Paresh Rawal. It's a known quantity. People know what they're getting. And in a crowded market, sometimes that comfort watch factor is exactly what audiences want.
It's the cinematic equivalent of your favorite comfort food. You know it, you love it, and it always delivers. And on the other side of the spectrum, you have Shahid Kapoor's Cocktail 2.
It's closing in on the 100 crore club. After 2 weeks, it just needs about 14 crore more to get there. This would be his second big success post-pandemic. It's so good to see him find his groove again.
It really is. And it's a sequel to a much-loved film, so again, there's that built-in audience. But what's really catching my eye are the regional cinema blockbusters.
Oh, tell me, I love seeing these breakouts.
Okay, first up, Samantha Ruth Prabhu's My Inti Bangaram. After 14 days, it's officially the 5th highest-grossing Tollywood film of 2026. A massive, massive success. Samantha is just a force of nature.
Unstoppable. And it proves that a strong story led by a powerful female actor can absolutely dominate the box office. We love to see it.
We really do. And then there are two Marathi films that are just, the numbers are staggering. Tumbachi Manjula, a comedy horror starring Sai Tumhankar, has been in theaters for 4 weeks and has made 164% in profits.
164%? That's incredible.
Wait, it gets better. Dewal Bantu, directed by Praveen Tarde, has just wrapped up its 6th week. Its return on investment is, wait for it, 636%.
600 and okay, you're kidding. That's not a number, that's a typo.
It's real, 636%. It's a historic success. And it just goes to show that you don't need a universe-sized budget to tell a story that connects with people on a massive scale. Sometimes a powerful regional story can outperform everything else.
That is the best news I've heard all week. It's a testament to the incredible diversity and strength of Indian cinema as a whole. It's not just about one industry, it's a constellation of them, all shining brightly. Beautifully put. And while we're talking about connecting with audiences, let's switch gears to a conversation about work ethic that's been bubbling up. Ah, yes, the great shift debate. Indeed. So amid this larger industry discussion about implementing 8-hour workdays, Amitabh Bachchan reminisced about his early career. He said he used to work 2 or 3 shifts a day, juggling multiple films at once. I can't even imagine that. The logistics alone are mind-boggling. Running from one set to another, changing costumes, getting into a completely different character. And he said what drove him was the fear of losing work. He said he was always worried. It's such a vulnerable admission from someone who is arguably the most secure superstar in the country. It really puts things into perspective. It shows the hustle and the anxiety that existed then, which is very different from the more structured, perhaps healthier, conversations we're having now about work-life balance. It's not a criticism of his generation or a validation of ours. It's just different. Exactly. It's an evolution. What was considered standard practice then, that relentless hustle, is now being re-examined. And that's a good thing. It's about sustainability. You don't want your best artist burning out. And speaking of artists, let's talk about a project that is generating a monumental amount of buzz, even before it has officially released anything. It can only be Ramayana. It can only be Ramayana. So an 11-second clip, supposedly of Ranbir Kapoor on set, leaked online and went completely viral. I saw it. The internet basically broke for a few hours. But then the makers came out with a statement that was very interesting. They said the clip was partly AI generated. Partly. That's the key word. It's such a 2026 problem, isn't it? You don't just have to worry about someone sneaking a phone onto your set. You have to worry about them taking a low-res image and using AI to enhance or animate it into something that looks real. It's a whole new frontier for intellectual property protection. The producers said their team is actively monitoring and getting the material removed. But it's like a game of whack-a-mole. Once it's out there, it's everywhere. And it creates this strange situation where the audience has a preconceived image of the film before the creators have even had a chance to present their own vision. It's a real challenge. A huge challenge. And it's not the only production facing some hurdles. Salman Khan's Mathrubhumi seems to be hitting some delays. Right, this is the film based on the 2020 Galwan Valley clash. It's reportedly facing some clearance issues with the censor board, the CBFC, and might miss its planned August release.
These things can be so complex, especially with a sensitive subject. It sounds like there are ongoing discussions, even after a title change. It's a reminder of all the behind-the-scenes negotiations and approvals that have to happen before a film ever reaches the audience.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. And speaking of marathons, shall we talk about the never-ending, ever-fascinating saga that is Hera Peri 3?
Oh, we must. It's our favorite ongoing story. What's the update this week? Did they accidentally hire and fire a new director in the last 48 hours?
Almost. This time, the original director, Priyadarshan, has broken his silence about his exit from the project. He said he left because of repeated insults and creative differences.
This film has had more drama behind the scenes than most films have on screen. It's truly the gift that keeps on giving. Priyadarshan is a legend, especially in comedy. To lose him over something like that feels like a massive misstep. He even said, "I could have made it bigger than Dhurandhar," which was another one of his big hits. You can hear the frustration. It just feels like this film is cursed to be perpetually in development. At this point, I think they should just make a mockumentary about the making of Hera Peri 3. It would probably be funnier and more successful than the actual film could ever be. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Okay, from production drama to some much happier news, we have a wedding confirmation.
Finally, tell me everything.
Amir Khan has officially confirmed his wedding to Gauri Sprat. He announced the date is July 5th, and it's going to be an intimate ceremony.
Oh, that's so lovely. After so much speculation, it's wonderful to have a happy, confirmed announcement. Just simple and straightforward. We wish them all the very best.
Absolutely. So much happiness to them. And speaking of icons getting their due, there's some wonderful news about the one and only SS Rajamouli. Oh, do tell. He was honored with a golden plaque at the Institut Lumière in France. It's the birthplace of cinema, where the Lumière brothers worked. It's a huge, huge honor. Wow, that is incredible. What a fitting tribute to a filmmaker who has so dramatically pushed the boundaries of what Indian cinema can be on a global stage. He said he was speechless and just felt gratitude. And he's currently working on his next big project, Varanasi, with Mahesh Babu, Priyanka Chopra, and Prithviraj Sukumaran. Can you imagine the expectations for that film?
The expectations are in a different galaxy at this point. But if anyone can meet them, it's him.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on, there were a couple of other interesting industry reflections I wanted to touch on. First, Raveena Tandon was talking about the lack of good comedy roles for women these days. Oh, that's such a great point. She was saying that the heroine's comic tracks have shrunk and that she misses the 90s comedy era. She gave a shout out to Sridevi's incredible comic timing. And she's so right. Sridevi was a masterclass in comedy, and Raveena herself was fantastic in comedies like Andaz Apna Apna. There's a real gap in the market for those kinds of roles in films. It feels like comedies have become so hero-centric. Completely. Which is a shame because funny women are, well, hilarious, and audiences love them. It feels like a missed opportunity. Hopefully some writers and directors were listening. Let's hope so. And another actress speaking up about industry standards was Isha Kopikar, who talked about ageism. Yes, she highlighted the double standard where older male actors are celebrated and continue to get leading roles, while women's aging is treated like a problem to be solved. It's a conversation that's been happening for a while, but it needs to be repeated. The more people with a platform speak up about it, the more the industry will be forced to confront it. Couldn't agree more. And it's not just about roles. It's about the entire narrative around actresses as they get older. Their value and talent don't diminish with age, they deepen. Precisely. Let's do a quick roundup of some other tidbits making news before we wrap up. Did you see the photos of Ranveer Singh dancing at his cousin's wedding in Goa? I did. He has this infectious energy that you just can't fake. It's so lovely to see that side of him, just celebrating with family. Pure joy. It really is. And on the quieter side of things, Vicky Kaushal shared a really sweet black and white photo of him and Katrina Kaif enjoying the monsoon from their balcony. Just a simple, romantic moment. It's nice to see those glimpses. It reminds you that behind the huge celebrity personas, they're just people enjoying the rain, like the rest of us. Exactly. We also have some release date news. Ibrahim Ali Khan and Sri Leela's film Delaire is set to release this November. Another star kid debut to watch out for. The pressure is always so high, but I'm excited to see what he brings to the screen. And Shreya Pilgankar is going to have a very busy September. She's got 2 theatrical releases in 1 week. First, she's reprising her role as Sweetie in Mirzapur the film. Mirzapur is getting a film?
It is. It's coming to the big screen on September 4th. And then a week later, she has Haiwan, which is a Priyadarshan film. Wow. From the gritty world of Mirzapur to a Priyadarshan film, that's what you call range. Good for her. And one final piece of project news. 25 years after Lagan, Aamir Khan and Ashutosh Gaurikar are reuniting for a sports drama called Lalkar. You just said the words Lagan, Aamir Khan, and Ashutosh Gaurikar in the same sentence. The expectations are now officially on the moon. What is it about? It's based on the life of cricketer Lala Amarnath and is set against the backdrop of the 1947 partition. It's scheduled to start filming in October. That sounds incredible, ambitious, historic, and with a creative team that has proven they can deliver an absolute masterpiece. I am seated. Me too. And on that exciting note, I think that covers the week's major happenings. From spy thrillers that fizzled to regional films that soared, from production woes to wedding bells. It's been a full week. And just as a final reminder for everyone, the 72nd National Film Awards winners are being announced today, so keep an eye out for that. It's always a fantastic celebration of the best of Indian cinema from every region. A perfect note to end on. It really covers the full spectrum of what we love to talk about, from the headlines to the heartbeats. Headlines se heartbeats tak. You've been listening to Bollywood Deep Dive from IndiaReview.com. Come back tomorrow. Namaste.